We were taught from childhood that evil is something terrible and immoral. We absorbed this knowledge. And what is evil? What is it manifested in? And where do his images come from? Is this evil eternal? More than 90% of serial killers are white men, usually from the lower or middle class. They are usually intelligent. Most of them had a difficult childhood where they were subjected to psychological, physical, or sexual abuse. Mostly they come from unstable families where such things as crime, psychiatric disorders, and alcoholism are not uncommon. Being brought up in such families, children spend a lot of time alone, as a result of which many of them already at a young age begin to mistreat animals. Police are examining the gruesome finds found at the home of Master Ed Gein, who lives in the Plainfield area of the city and confessed to gutting and dismembering the body of 58-year-old widow Bernice Bourdain. Authorities found the decapitated body suspended in Gaines' woodshed, the entrail removed from the body and the body suspended by heel tendons. The search of Gaines farm also uncovered skin from the face of 54-year-old Mary Hogan, as well as body parts on 10 other victims. 10 skulls, pieces of furniture made of human skin, a box with noses, skin from human skulls, a belt made of female nipples. Authorities also suspect the fact of cannibalism. Ed Gein is a Plainfield Ghoul. Ed Gein lived in a small town in Plainfield, Wisconsin. This part of Wisconsin was considered the most impassable and was called the Great Dead Heart of the state. When you start Gein's life, you feel his complete isolation from the human contact, except for the crazy mother. Ed's mother was a very domineering and fanatically religious woman. She wanted Ed and his brother Henry contact with the outside world to a minimum because the outside was full of sinners. Augusta Gein was a recognized authority among the Son, forbidding them all communication with the outside world, especially with women. Ed grew up with conflicting feelings for the mother. On the one hand, he worshipped her, and on the unconscious level, he felt resentment and hatred for this mother.
19 ноября 1957 года. Плейнфилд, Висконсин.
Каким он был человеком? Ну, он был простоват, но всегда считалось, что он совершенно безобиден. Он был приятным парнем, как и все остальные. Единственное, что отличало, по-моему, его от остальных, было то, что он был немного странным.
After his mother died, Ed's world collapsed. From this moment, he got out of hand. His mental state was critical. Inside Ed's house, as in his head, was hers. He would go to the dump and take all the garbage home. Ed read books and magazines about people with different oddities and deviations. One of the interesting things about 50th century was a lot of dark sexual fiction, horror comics, also published materials describing the actions of the Nazis in World War II. Eventually, Ed Gein became obsessed with such things and decided to put his plans into practice. He started robbing graves. He would go to the cemetery and tear up the corpses of women who reminded him of his mother. Ed was cleaning up the grave and taking the body with him. He tried his best to get his mother back. Since Ed couldn't have a relationship with a woman, he wanted to take away the body parts associated with the concept of femininity. He also used the bones of the human tibia to strengthen the coffee table, removed the top of the skulls, used it as a tureen. He covered the chair with human skin. A suit made of human skin is amazing. Gain was obsessed with different forms of bisexuality. There was a part of him that wanted to become a woman. He dressed in a suit of human skin and walked around his house pretending to be his mother. After another murder and brutal massacre with the corpse of a woman beneath Verdun, the author was arrested and then declared mentally ill. He often experienced visual and auditory hallucinations. The psychological details of his personality suggest that as a child, Ed didn't have the opportunity to develop psychosexually. In many a serial killer sits a little boy who acts on an instant impulse. Ed Gein died in a psychiatric hospital, and his image became interesting for many writers, screenwriters, and creators of video games. The image of the villain remained for a long time in the mind of people.